Welcome back to New Dexter. Who dis?
Who dis?
So, I know we just put up all of our previous episodes, and we're thinking we may have been a little harsh on the music.
I don't think we were wrong. I think it was very poor choice. I mean, because the more we watch other things that use music well, we go, Dexter got it all wrong.
I hate using comparisons, but yeah.
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 I mean, it's just the music's been corny and campy, but at the end of the day, like, the rest of the show is really good. It's just that one thing's, like, distracting, like you said before.
Yeah.
I think we were a little rough about it. We might have been a little more rough than we needed to be. Okay. But I do think that's our honest opinion, is not a fan of their music choice at this point. And their use of music.
Yeah, I mean, we're still fans of the story and the actors and, you know, that package.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to get into Backseat
Driver.
Backseat Driver. All right, let's go. Alibi. There we go. She can do it. His friend. His little girlfriend there.
Now, a fucking rundown of literally every piece of evidence they have. That
all right.
None of it could be...
Just pause it. Just pause it so we can bitch about that. Okay, so... I do like that Harrison, you know, is getting interrogated and he finally admits that, look, I'm homeless. But this detective that we can't stand, running through every single scenario, every single piece of evidence. She's completely
overwritten. She's way overwritten. And she's not even being written in a way the detective behaves. Like, the amount of interrogation footage I've seen in true crime documentaries that exist for everyone to see. At no point do they go down a full list of literally every detail and piece of evidence they have that is completely circumstantial and that none of it links back to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, for one, he knows it. Like, I've seen some detectives try to be like, well, we know this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
And we've seen them also do, you know, I think it's you. I think you know more than you're saying. Shit like that, right? But she literally was like, here's every piece of evidence that we don't have. Yeah. And here's every bit of speculation that I do have. And it was so weird. And then I'm not here to enforce Penal Code 140.05. I mean, fuck Christ. I mean...
It's getting a little goofy where...
She's awful.
Yeah,
she's such a bad character.
I feel in like, you know, all the other scenes we've ever had of police, of detectives, that I wasn't thinking that they were kind of like doing a goofy method of their
Masuka's
job.
Not as goofy as her. Because Masuka comes off like a real person. Like she doesn't come off as a real person in any way. Right. Not in the way she talks. Right. Not in the way she investigates. Not in the way that she handles interrogations. Like which, by the way, wouldn't be in a fucking weird office.
Yeah, Masuka was silly as a personality, but he wasn't silly in like the job he did. He could still do the job, right? And do it like semi-professionally, you know?
Yeah, he was a pro. He was just a goof. Like, that's what I'm saying. He didn't come off as a goofy character. He came off as a goofy guy. This comes off as like, what is she supposed to be? How am I even supposed to respond to her?
Right, and I'm sorry, but the use of the same song, it is really getting to us. So we're trying not to get distracted by the music, but like when you use the same song that she has to have every time she's investigating is
and
like...
you pick a specifically annoying song. It might as well be Chumbawamba. It might as well be something just the hamster dance, fucking Baby Shark. It's all the same song. Like, playing it over and over again. The worst thing about... We stopped watching Stranger Things because they kept using that one mediocre song.
We couldn't... Yeah, the song that blew up that wasn't new, but it wasn't... Yeah. It wasn't a good song.
Yeah, it's an okay song, but it was overplayed in the show.
Yeah.
Like, it's obnoxious. I almost started fast forwarding when she was doing her little investigation thing.
Right.
Having her yell over her headphones comes off as unprofessional and stupid, not as this fucking keyed in. This isn't...
And I think that is you having, you know, somewhat of like a... at least a prison background that like... Having cops and law enforcement come off professional and real, it does kind of mean something more to you, I think.
Yeah, because it'd be nice No?
Like, to me, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just like the very, casual viewer, having not been in law enforcement, but you having been in law enforcement, like, I think that shines a different light too.
Yeah.
Of like, come on, guys. Come
like,
on.
What are you doing? And the way that her partner's behaving with her too, like everything about those two characters is just awful. The song choice is bad. The overplaying of it is distracting and grating. And I'm trying to get into a detective. Like I said, I'm super into true crime, super into documentaries, into law enforcement, former law enforcement.
Right.
These are usually the ones I root for. And this is one where I'm all like, take her out, just cut her head off, and let's move on to any other investigator because I don't want anything to do with her.
All right. There we go. We got the bitching out of the way.
Here's every fucking fact that I don't have. He always had a super strength to him. They always kind of gave him that.
Okay, so Dexter's in the car with this new faux dark passenger, right? What do we think about him, just getting his inner Dexter strength to reach down and grab the syringe that's fallen?
The pushing forward with the neck thing's a little weird, but I have a feeling what we haven't seen yet is he's going to have some sort of protective thing under his turtleneck. We paused it before he could show it, but I bet you anything by push play, he's going to take something out of
push
his turtleneck.
Okay.
Boom. Metal plate.
All right, so he did have the metal plate
There you go.
protecting his neck, right? Yeah. But were you okay with that, with the script of like
what part
of the dialogue, the internal dialogue, and his back and forth with the
it wasn't.
Okay.
I mean, there's been with his pisses I'm getting at the other lady, he's fine.
Okay.
Like, it might not be quite what he used to talk about or talk like before. He's a little more catchphrasey and cutesy now, but I'm okay with it.
Okay.
He's not ruined to me at this point. So.
And how do you? Okay. Yeah, and we already know pretty much like where his kill room's gonna be. I am curious as to where he's gonna dispose, or how, right? Because like he doesn't have his boat here.
Yeah, we got the Hudson River, so I mean, we'll see.
That's true. I do like seeing the old crew, right? We saw Masuka. We saw Joey. Like, that was really cool.
That was awesome.
I know it was like really quick, and that he didn't want to give it away of hey, what will you retire? What are you gonna do now? Oh, we'll just see. I got this little itch.
And it explains what I was talking about in the other episode. What the fuck is he doing with his career? Why is he just out and about like this? And this kind of puts that all together.
Right, his winding down of retirement. That makes sense. But also that, no one believed LaGuardia, so like he didn't believe LaGuardia, so like why would anyone believe him? Like, that also is starting to make sense too. Like, okay, he wants to keep this to himself until everything lines up and he's got, all the facts.
Yeah, and especially because the other guys aren't retired, so they probably have their own cases. Because like if they were all retired, I could see him being like, let's get the band back together,
Right.
Let's figure this shit out and prove once and for all one way or the other whether he is or isn't, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little. It's the way they've handled the cameos, I think, is absolutely perfect. Yeah. And I think the way that they've written the old characters back in has been also perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Really loving the cameos. The newer characters, not so much, but we're seeing where it goes.
Yeah, we're trying. we're staying alive.
Okay. All right. That's
I'm just
unnecessary. I legit thought that was his phone going off.
I thought it was his phone. Yeah, I was like, that's a weird ringtone.
Bon appetit.
I'm gonna stop. Alright, so how do we feel about Dexter, right? He goes through with it. He gets his murder. How do we feel about the invitation that he found to meet up with other possible serial killers?
That's the thing that I was telling you that I was waiting to see how it came to fruition.
Okay.
What I know from the original trailer, and I don't remember if you watched the trailer or not, or just don't remember the trailer, but there's this dinner being put on by this guy who's obsessed with serial killers, and so he's like hired Uma Thurman effectively to track down these serial killers in New York to have this dinner thing. So for them to kind of, I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
I felt like the murder itself was a little anticlimactic in that I thought this whole dark passenger thing was going to have more of an actual meaning, more of a, he looks just like me, it's like I'm looking in a mirror, any of those kinds of things. And that felt a little rushed through to get to the invitation thing. This does feel like we're going, how many episodes do we have to get through to get to the story they want to tell? Because it feels like they're not telling the story they want to tell yet. They have a lot of things going, but it feels to me like
a lot of teases, kind of.
Just like a lot of rushing through stuff to get to this. I think that the invitation and the dinner and getting him a kill, I think we're trying to get that out of the way. I feel like there's a bigger story they want to tell here.
Which is interesting because I think it's getting away from the initial story, which was Dexter going back to Harrison and helping Harrison find his way and being the new light for him. I felt like, honestly, like that was enough of a story, of a main story, and I feel like this invitation is kind of almost derailing that.
Yeah, like side quest. I don't know. I feel like that's the story they're going for, though. And that's why it's a little interesting and weird, the way we've been kind of... Episode 1, he wakes up, gets out. Like, it feels like we've bullet pointed Dexter milestones to get to the story. But I don't feel like they've really got into the meat of what they want to talk about or what they want to do. And it could be because they have like a 2 or 3 season plan here. You know what I mean? This might not be like, hey, we're going to do...
Right.
You know what I mean? This isn't... Dexter season 1 didn't know if it was going to get a season 2, right? This one probably has a good idea based off of how other Dexter things have gone, and whatever kind of contract they have, they probably know they've got a good 2 to 3 seasons, maybe 4, before they have to worry about anything. So they might be like having a slower, longer story arc, you know? Yeah,
and it is interesting. I still keep going back to like the Harrison, him trying to figure out who he is. Is he really a killer? Was that one-off? Or is it like when we originally met Harrison and he does have this thing inside him where he feels this itch to, murder?
Yeah. Like, is he going to do it again? Is a really big deal.
Right? Like him staring himself in the mirror, then it cuts to Dexter staring at himself, or the Dexter reflection. Like, I am interested in his story. Yeah. And I would like to at least have them down the line meet. I don't know if this Dexter is going to meet Harrison again.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, that's also just part of letting that play out. That's part of the story they're going for, but it does feel like check 1, check 2, check 3. Like, it's felt, very like slow but rushed in a certain way. You know what I mean? We're going to do one episode and just tell this part of how do we get to the next thing. Yeah. But I feel like this invitation, him feeling like he's going to impersonate the dark passenger. So now he's going, this is the irony of it, really. This is the cutesy bit. He's going to become the dark passenger now that he's killed him. And this whole thumbprint for entry thing is really weird because even if they found this guy, they wouldn't have his thumbprint.
Right. On file. That's where I was like, how do they know him?
Yeah, it could be any thumbprint. Thumbprint for entry is such a weird kind of lame expectation. Like
yeah, how?
I mean, the fact that he also went so far as to cut his thumb off so he could use the other thumb.
Sure.
Do they have the right thumbprint on file? Maybe they only have the left thumbprint. Do they even have his thumbprint? Like,
yeah, they didn't really explain that bit, so I'm like curious, but I do feel like it's, I don't know. I am more interested in the Harrison Dexter, like the father-son story, personally. But we'll see where this goes. Let us know what you guys think, how you are liking Dexter Resurrection. If this is standing up to what you thought it would be. If you're liking it, let us know. If we're completely off.
Yeah. Do you guys love the Bee Gees? But not all of the Bee Gees, just the one song. Over and over.
And the song that this episode, I will say, how this episode ended, the last song of the last scene threw us both off. I for sure thought that it was Dexter's cell phone interrupting the scene. I didn't think that was the closing song.
There's an issue with timing there. So it started playing seconds before he reached into his pocket to grab a knife.
Yep.
So it came across as we're hearing a ringtone.
Yes.
As he reaches for his phone, and then he came out with a knife, and I was more confused. So I was like, "What is happening?" And I goes, "Oh, it's the credits music."
Yeah, it was like, who's calling?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just us, but let us know. Thanks for tuning in to New Dexter. Who dis?
Who dis?
We'll catch you next time.